Hello and welcome to our program for this week, Lumen Conversations Unscripted, a program that comes on your screens every Monday and bringing intriguing, exciting, exhilarating topics that are there to help you understand what is happening within and from without. Uriah Banda is my name. It is the month of the Rosary, the month where we are dedicating it to intensify our prayer life using the Rosary. In the studio, I'm not alone. Channel 101 on Top Star. On my far left is Father Arthur Ntembula. Father, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Banda.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. You look smart. You look smart.
Thank you. And on my right is Sidin. Sidin, nice to have you on the program.
The pleasure is mine, Manuria, and welcome dear viewers joining us on Lumen Conversations Unscripted for this Monday.
Yes, just like we did allude to say, this program comes every Monday, 18:30 hours. You can follow us on Top Star channel 101. You can also follow us on our YouTube page, including the Facebook. So you can watch this program within the vicinity of your home without being interrupted. We are in the month of October. And in the month of October, as a church, it has been set aside. We dedicate much time to the Rosary, praying the Rosary, and trying to make understand. There are people we do put on the Rosary, but we don't seem to understand why the Rosary. What is it all about? So today we'll have this ample time to ensure that we break it down so that we are able to understand it very well. In the simplest term, we shall try to be that way. First things first, Father, here's the Rosary that I'm holding.
I have mine as well.
You have yours?
Yeah.
I have mine too.
So, it's a call or a sign to say we have to make it a habit to pray the Rosary. First things first, Father, Corona. Wambira machono katolika tavala corona. Muntu tingafunse kuti corona inamba bwanji.
The Rosary has a very rich history. Actually, it started as something, okay, as prayers, yes, but not as what we have now. You know, so through so many centuries, it has developed into what it is now. If you have to go back to around the 11th century, the Irish monks used to recite the 150 Psalms of the Bible. Now, they lived in a place where the people around were not so educated. You know, it's that kind of a thing where people are praying. It's like in the seminary. You know, the people that live in the seminary, sometimes so they are kind of intrigued by that. Abantu abaimba umu offense umu. Abaimba bwino maningi. Okapena abapempera bwino. Ibichani bamene bistika umu. So the people around the monastery where the Irish monks used to live had that kind of, you know, were intrigued in that manner to say, these people that live in this place are always reciting these prayers or these my words. Because they are not so educated, it was very difficult for them to join in. And the monks realized that the people really wanted to be participating in reciting the 150 Psalms, but it wasn't easy. So they had to find a way that would be easier for them. As the monks in the monastery are reciting those Psalms, the people outside the monastery were told to be saying just Our Father. So they would recite the Our Father 150 times. 150 times. At least they were able to recite the Our Father 150 times. Now, Mr. Banda, you have to become you. Now, again it became a challenge. Tena ungapenda kuibala mwachacha 141, then you think you have done 150. Kansi si mnafika hapo. Tena ngo you feel discouraged as you are reciting those Our Fathers. Along the way you feel a bit discouraged or tired. It feels monotonous. Our Father, our Father, our Father, until the 150th time. So now, again, they had to find or devise a way for the people not to feel tired, for the people to keep an accurate count of what they were reciting. So what did they do? They had to gather, they started gathering stones. Then wakafaka myala hapa, so, and then they would start removing a stone one by one. So those stones would be 150. So when they start removing them from there, putting them somewhere else, they would be doing the prayers. When this heap is done, then they are sure that they've done the prayers 150. You understand? Yeah. And that went on and on. But again, that brought another challenge. Myala zamba kusova. Mafaka myala paja mnyumba paja. Maybe the children start playing with the stones. So it means that every day you want to recite the Our Fathers, you have to look for another heap of stones, or stones to add to the heap, because some would be missing. So what are we going to do? Let us start tying these stones on a string so that the kids may not have to play with them. Otherwise, every day we'll be looking for new stones every day. So they had to put the stones on a string, and that helped them. Actually, this helped them even to recite the prayers, not just in their homes, but even outside their home vicinities, because they would be carrying a whole string of of little stones, and they would be doing that until they reach the last stone. But again, that posed another challenge, because those were stones. So venze kulema, every time you have to go, so it becomes like a little burden. Was in Nyala, and so what are we going to do to make this thing easier? Let us get rid of the stones and introduce something lighter. So they brought in wood. So they started using wood, and that made things even easier.
Okay. So we can, from your explanation, we are able to say it wasn't an easy thing in the first place.
Yeah.
But later on, as things started changing, new methods started coming in, and that is how we arrived at a stage where we are carrying it. Even it's easy, even putting it on our necks.
Yeah, but not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. The part.
We've reached the stage kuti vanachoka ku miyala manje amba using wood,
yeah,
to make it very easy. From there, maybe what was the next stage from the wood that followed to try to simplify it, so that it was easy for people to follow and pray?
So this practice went on for many years, and it became a very popular way of praying in Europe, especially because the Irish monks introduced it even in other communities, until the time the Dominicans actually. I forget the name of this Dominican, Montfort or something. This Dominican is the one that a Dominican priest around the 700s, the one that introduced the mysteries. Okay, that people should not just be saying Our Father, Our Father. There has to be, let us add some more flesh to this. Okay, as they are praying, what are they supposed to be reflecting on? So that's when the aspect of the mysteries came in. Let us help them to be reflecting on the life of Jesus. That's why the rosary is actually more about Jesus than Mary, because everything that we reflect on, those mysteries, are all about the life of Jesus. So the Dominicans brought in this aspect of having something to reflect on as you pray, not just praying. Okay, Now, as we reflect on the life of Jesus, you can't avoid reflecting on the life of Mary as well, because Jesus has a mother, and the mother is Mary. So why can't we also bring in the aspect of Mary? Okay, because that is where Jesus is coming from. So now, in order to develop the rosary, the Hail Mary, the salutation, was brought in. Now, because they had to say these prayers 150 times, it became also a burden. Why can't we simplify these prayers? Let us break them into sets of 10, so that people can easily say them and then go on with their day's work. So instead of having 150, we're going to have what now we call decades of the rosary. So these salutations of Mary are going to be said 10 times on each decade, on each part, 10 times. Then the Our Father, because we're not getting rid of the Our Father prayer completely. So the Our Father is going to be preceding the 10 salutations of Mary as we reflect on the life of Jesus. So now, what we have now is the rosary simplified to 10 on each part, like the way we have it now. Okay, but it is still just a string that somebody can carry around. What if you want to be doing some work as you carry your rosary? Let us have this fashioned into something that can easily be carried, or something that can be easily worn around the neck or on the wrist. And so instead of just it being a ring, you know, a straight string, it became a ring. Now, this ring acquired a new name, a rosarium. Okay, we call it a rosarium. Why are we going to call it a rosarium? In Europe, around the 16th century, there was a legend, a story that swept through the Christian communities in Europe, that in one particular chapel, when this young monk was reciting the rosary, Mary appeared to him. Okay, she appeared to him, and when she appeared, she was taking the prayers that he was reciting from his mouth. She was taking those prayers and making a ring out of them, a ring of flowers. So as the young monk is reciting, she's getting those prayers and making them into a ring of flowers, of roses. And when the ring was done, she put it on her head. So, and that was called a rosarium. A rosarium is like is a bed of flowers, is a bed of roses. So that actually is what motivated the fashioning of the rosary into what it is now, a ring that you can put around your neck like this. Yeah. Now,
Bambo, there's one thing that I always think of when I hear the explanation that the rosary was being recited first from the Psalms, and then you've talked about the rosary being the life of Jesus Christ through the mysteries. Some of us have not read the Psalms. Is the Psalms also about the life of Jesus, such that the one who thought to add the mysteries took that into consideration?
Actually, the rosary as we have it now, especially, okay, let us look at its development. It didn't start as something to do with Mary or something to do with Jesus. It was just psalms. You know, psalms are songs. When seminarians go into the chapel for prayers, they recite the psalms. So it was that routine, you know, a routine of going into the chapel and reciting the psalms or singing the psalms. Okay, but the psalms have nothing to do with Mary, at least directly. They have nothing to do with Mary or with Jesus. Those are psalms. Those are songs. So now, it was the initiative of the monks themselves to say, since the people in the villages are not able to memorize the psalms that we memorize ourselves, they want to join into these prayers, but they are not able to memorize the psalms. let us give them something simpler, something easier. And according to the wisdom of the monks that time, what was easier was to give them the Our Fathers. At least the Our Father was already a common prayer. So people were able to learn faster the Our Father. So instead of having to master all the 150 Psalms, you just master one prayer, which you say 150 times. So again, from that angle, the issue of Mary doesn't come in yet. It is just the Our Father helping people to join in the prayer, in the prayers of the monks, as the monks continue reciting their psalms. It was now much later, because now this form of prayer became popular. The monks themselves, the Irish monks, popularized it. So in Europe, that time Europe was the strength of Christianity. Yeah. So it became very popular. Then people were like, but why can't we also, as we recite these Our Fathers and the Psalms, why can't we introduce also something to reflect on? Okay, something to reflect on. Because we can't just be reciting. We have to be reciting and reflecting on something. And that's where now the Dominican priests brought in the aspect of the mysteries. As we recite these Our Father prayers and the Psalms, let us be reflecting on the life of Jesus. So the mysteries come in. Okay, later, the life of Jesus. Okay, why can't we also talk about now the mother of Jesus? Because Jesus is coming from a mother, and that is Mary. So let us see, as we develop this form of prayer, let us introduce the salutation of the angel to Mary. So those that were not able to recite the Our Father prayers and all, at least they were able to memorize the salutation of the angel to Mary. So much later now, the rosary developed into what we have now. As in, okay, instead of just reciting all these prayers 150 times, sometimes mugonera pakati chani, sometimes you are not able to finish because you are very busy, whatever. Let us help our people still maintain this form of prayer by cutting down these. Instead of them doing 150, let us put them into sets of 10. So they do the salutations of Mary in sets of 10. And then after that, as they go into another set of 10, we still maintain the Our Father. Because the salutations are not supposed to replace the Our Father. So we still maintain. That's why we have to do the Our Father prayer before we go into the decade of the salutations of Mary and much later, of course, it was not just about the salutation of Mary or of the angel to Mary. The Hail Mary developed into what it is now and became part of the Rosary. But strictly speaking, the Rosary is more about Jesus than about Mary. Yeah, because without, Mary only acquires the significance she has in the church because of Jesus. So she does not overshadow Jesus. She's not a goddess that we should be bowing to or that should be praying. We don't pray to Mary. We don't worship Mary because she is not supposed to overshadow Jesus. Her importance is dependent on the presence of Jesus in her life.
Okay, now, Father, the other thing that I always have about the prayer of the Rosary is that the church has always said that the prayer of the Rosary is very important, very powerful. And yet when you read the scriptures, you hear the Bible, Jesus saying we should not be rambling on, more like repetitive words and the like. And Rosary is one of the prayers which is like that.
Repeating the same words.
Yeah, repeating the same words time and again. And so one gets to wonder, how powerful is it that the church says it is powerful, and yet it is a repetitive prayer?
Jesus was actually challenging the Pharisees because the Pharisees, when they go to pray, they want everybody to know that they are praying. So the the scripture you have cited is a challenge to the way Pharisees are praying, because they want you to know that they are praying. So how do they do that? They will go and stand in the open and be just be saying the same things, or be shouting on top of their voices, because the goal is you have to know that they are praying, and that becomes hypocritical. Jesus talks about even going into he talks about going into your private room, close the door and pray. And he says, actually, that is the best form of prayer. You go into your private room, close the door, and talk to your Father in heaven. Because your Father in heaven knows what is in your heart, even before you say it. So, in that teaching, Jesus is trying to give us the correct way of praying by challenging the wrong way of praying. And according to the context, the wrong way of praying is the hypocritical way of praying, where you are praying so that people see and know that you are praying. When we are reciting the rosary, yes, we are repeating the same words. Are we doing that so that people see that we are praying, so that we make that point? Because it is also about your intention. Of course, there are people that pray or that appear in a particular holy way because they want you to know that they are holy. Not so, Mr. Band. Yes, they want to drive home that point, that they are holy, that they are this kind of a person. And that in itself becomes hypocritical. So, Jesus is not just talking against repeating words. The point is not speaking against repeating words, but speaking against the intention for repeating those words. If you are repeating words, why are you repeating those words? Do you want people to see? Do you just want people to see that you are praying? Or your intention is pure? So when we go to pray the rosary, yes, we are repeating the words, we are saying the Hail Marys many times, but our intention, at least my intention, is not that people should know and see that I'm praying. Mr. Band, I don't know your intention when you are praying the rosary. But our intention should be that people don't see, but God sees that we are indeed praying. But if the intention is ill positioned, then Jesus is also speaking against that.
Just like what you have said, Father, you just reminded me of one thing. For Mass, you can have so many Masses in a particular day, but each Mass has got its own graces and different intentions. Just like we are saying about the Rosary, there should be an intention before I start praying the Rosary. Even like when you are doing these mysteries, the decades, we even say Pindu Tipezepo. So that Pindu Tipezepo, I should declare ni Pindu Bwanji pamene pembera Rosary izankalapo. Now coming back to the same Rosary, Father, having explained from how it started from 150 recitation of the Psalms. Developing to roses there on a string coming, stones and planks, to be what it is today. So like here, I'm holding this, and like you had said something that people would always ask Imaba Katolika, Mukamba Maninga Mai Maria, especially on the Rosary. Could it be explained in a very simple way? Here's the Rosary. When we are beginning to pray it, we start with the Creed. What could be the significance of starting the Rosary with the Creed?
The Creed.
Yes.
The reason is simple. That first of all, what we want before we pray the Rosary is to state our faith. That this is what we believe in. So the Creed is basically what we are as Catholics. So our intention to say the Creed before we say any other prayers of the Rosary is to state our position. And our position is, this is what we believe in. And then after that, then we continue with the other prayers.
Yeah, having said there are so many questions that
you didn't want to know anything to do with the sign of the cross.
Maybe it's part of the question, not so.
Yeah, like you have explained further to say we begin every prayer as Catholics by making the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thereafter, the Creed it's all about where our faith hinges upon. There are those people who want to put on a rosary, who are not Catholics, who don't even believe in our faith, but they just like the way it is. Is it in order?
Yes and no. Yeah.
Yes, like the reasons for the yes and the no.
It is in order, yes. Because for me, when I see a non-Catholic wearing a rosary, I want to look at it from a positive point of view, not just to say, Sindio Catholic, why are you wearing a rosary? No. I think for that person to wear that rosary, there's something that they have seen. There's something that they are able to acknowledge about the power. They might not understand everything about the rosary, the prayers that we say and all that. But for them, for the very fact that they have put it around their neck, that for me in itself is evangelization. Evangelizing those people through the rosary. So not just putting the rosary around their neck. So someone is nichimpempefi, but azagula corona no faka muti motox. I think there is something that they see in the rosary. Because I mean, if I don't believe in something, Mr. Banda, I don't believe that this rosary is important. I mean, why should I even buy it in the first place? Why should I put it on my body in the first place? I mean, I don't believe in it. So I might not understand everything about the rosary, but at least I acknowledge the fact that there could be something, some power in this thing. So let me also use it just as the Catholics themselves use it. So from a positive point of view, it is in order. It is okay. Okay? It is okay. I said yes and no, yeah?
Yes.
Let's get to the no.
No aspect.
There is I said yes and no because there's danger for abuse. You know, when you don't understand something, you might use it inappropriately. So it would be important for them before they use it, before they put it in their car, they put it around their neck, they take some interest to understand what this is about. Otherwise, they might abuse it, even without knowing, but they might abuse it. So no, it is not in order because there's a lot that they don't understand about it, and they have to take interest to understand what this thing is that they want to use. And they don't even need a priest to explain to them. I mean, their phones, they can even Google rosary, what is a rosary? Information is there. If they don't understand something, fine, they might look for a Catholic who understands, who knows, to explain to them. Otherwise, everything is there. So they need to understand at least even just 80% of the rosary, so that when they're using it, they know exactly what they're using. So that's a no. A yes, I would still encourage them to use, even if they don't understand, because they have acknowledged that in this there's something.
So in case just someone has walked into their living rooms, you are watching Lumen Conversations Unscripted, the program that comes your way every Mondays. And today we, in the prudence of the church, has set aside the month of October that we need to be praying the rosary. We are talking about the rosary, so you can follow us through via TV or YouTube or Facebook. You can send through your comments about the program, or if you've got questions, you are much more welcome following the numbers that are scrolling on the TV set where you are watching us from. Maybe some people are saying aba bantu akamba maningi chizungu kuli ambuya pacha bamene bafuna bambesese bwino bankani ya rosary chukwa vaivala pa rosary abambo pali vikumi hapa. Sono pa vikumi bimenevi siku iliyonse ili na ni siku yakaye na monga lero ni joyful mystery yamene tipembera pamande. Sono if you could kindly divulge into how was this arrived at. Lelo pamande tisapembera corona ya chimwemwe, pa Tuesday tisapemperai, pa chinayi corona kuwala, pa Friday ya chisoni. Zinankhala bwanji zimenezi.
Zinankhala bwanji.
Inde.
Amwisha Mr. Banda. Ngatrefu okulolekesha po umi wako wa Yesu. Umi wako wa Yesu is a huge thing. Okay? Teti muloleshe po umi wako wa Yesu, munsafye imonangu nsashibinangu shitatu. kyasindana ngufye mulungu wonse fye mule salika fye pabumi bwa Kristo. So ilyo bayishire muno kwati kwena kuli fintu ifingi pabumi bwa Yesu ifyo abantu benga salikilapo nango benga tontokanyapo ilyo bale salika kolona kanshi natufyakanye mufipando fyalikanalekana pakwati mulungu wonse fye tamba fye pa mande mpaka fena pa sande mpaka fena pa Friday pa mulungu fye wonse fye watshani fyonse wakwana kulingana nefyo Kristo aikero bumi bwakwe. So ekubika kwa ifipando ifinitwa kwata mystery ya chite yaba papushubwa kuti mystery ya chite yapa pushubwa kuti wakati ushikumule salika kolona obushukufye uli wonse fye kuliko chimwe icho mule tontonkanyapo pabuni wa Kristo mwanfu. So chitwatira twati kolona nga vintu twachanda pakubala kolona nga vintu twayishibei nga vintu twayishibelelo iyi kolona ilanda ilingi pabumi wa Kristo ekintu kikalamba ilanda mlandu ine naba mystery yonse antu tusalika po tuntonganya po tusalika yalanda pabumi wa Kristo mlandu akobati Maria takwete ubunonshuli wonse ukwabula Kristo ukwabula kutuntonganya pale Kristo. Maria pakwati akwati obukatami mubumi bwesu kano ayikumika kuli nani kuli Kristo. Echo mlandu ine nga tuwesalika kolona twabana okula tontonkanya pabumi wa Kristo. Bantu nga twatangisha Maria pantanshi Maria aba nilesa wesu munshilaimu. Lelo Eklesia Katolika echo atufunde echo yo. Eklesia Katolika tatufundo kwati Maria nilesa munshedi onse. Maria muntu fye nga imwe na ine. Lero muntu ole somu ine apula mike pakumupera ishuko lya kuba nyina wa Kristo. Kanshi pakola ati Maria akwate buchindami ni Kristo ewalenga. Lero tuweseka kolone nangwa dini abenga muno kwati kolona ni Maria fe ile tuwesalika kolona chikalamba tule tontonkanyapo bumi bwa kwani wa Kristo. Edo bumi bwa Kristo butetu tubutontonkanyapo mushu bumo kanshi kwakanya munshi kwishapu sana pusana pakobati mulungu wonse fye waba fye mulungu wakwani wa Kristo. Abo mfamya bambye mwachilala ndapo
ndesubira nabo mfamkwaye nabana balekula nombali na
nabo
mkwaye.
Now Bambo Uria has been saying and we've been saying here that October is the month of the Rosary. We want to understand how did the church come up to pick October of all the months that we have, 12 months. The church just picked October to be the month of the Rosary, and maybe you can again combine with what we commemorate today, the Radio of the Holy Rosary. How did the church decide?
In fact, it's not just October, which is the month of the Rosary. There's also May.
Okay.
Iyo wako kutontonganya palwa kolona no kusalika kolona. Lelo in October, that's when like we want to intensify the prayers of the Rosary, and this is connected to the apparitions of in Fatima in Portugal. The apparitions, very soon we're going to celebrate the apparitions. Idio Maria amonekele abana nono ena Jacinta Francisco na Nulia na Lucia. So kwachira fyenshi kupanono twalase fya iyo nshikumkuru. So idio Maria amonekele abana abapele ifundera ko bati nangule chipope kwati mule salika mwebe nabantu bonse kwati bale salika chinshi bale salika kolona pakuchingirire sonde fintu ifilesa kuntanshi finkunka kulesa enkondo kuntanshi kulesa ne fintu fyalekanalekana ifingona ula abantu n'obumi bwabo. So mule salika ikolone mwebe nabantu bonse, take this message to the people, let them start praying the Rosary so that the world is protected from what is coming. So because of that, the church decided, okay, why can't we just have the whole month of October as a month to intensify our prayers of the Rosary? Tizipempera molimba nditu this month of the Rosary because of that apparition, a very important apparition in the church. So and similarly, I talked about May. You know, these apparitions happened twice. The first one was in May, the second one was in October. So it's the same reason. In October, in May also, May was dedicated to the prayers of the Rosary because of that apparition and the command that the kids received to say, tell the world to pray the Rosary in a very intensified manner, because there's something that is coming that might destroy Winabantu. So pray for God's protection through the Rosary.
In so saying, Bambo, here in Zambia in particular, can we say as we pray the prayers of the Rosary, we also put maybe our own intentions, like this year we have the difficult of years in terms of the economic situation, the rains that we never had enough last season. Can we pray for such things? Is it proper?
Yes, actually it is very proper. As we reflect on the life of Jesus praying the Rosary, we can also make what we can call special intentions. So you can do it in two ways. The first way is to have all the intentions mentioned at the beginning of the Rosary. So this Rosary that we're starting, this is our intention. Okay. The other way is to attach intentions to each decade of the Rosary. So in this decade, as we reflect on these mysteries of joy or mysteries of light, we want also to pray for rains in our country. Because without rains, we are going to have load shedding and we are going to have hunger, etc., etc. So it is very okay and actually encouraged to have special intentions for our prayers of the Rosary. In fact, the Rosary, acquires much more sense when we attach personal intentions, we attach special intentions. That's when we pray it with all our heart, because we have this special intention and we want God to grant us this intention through our prayers of the Rosary. I know many people just recite the Rosary for the sake of reciting. I mean, without any intention, that is, which is okay, which is also okay. But we encourage them also to have special intentions. Could be personal intentions. You're looking for employment in Chitona Ishupa. So, okay, let me have a novena of the Rosary, and I'm going to be attaching this intention to every decade, or every time I'm praying the Rosary, I'll be mentioning this intention. It could be a family intention. It could be any intention. So it's actually encouraged to have special intentions for the Rosary.
Okay, so I think, Oria, if you are attentive, I'm sure you've heard that our director is saying we have 3 minutes to conclude. So I was thinking that maybe to conclude, we'll maybe teach a little bit people how to pray the Rosary. Already we mentioned that on the crucifix, we say the creed.
Mr. Banda is going to teach us.
In brief, we have maybe we're even running into 2 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. So because someone watching there may say,
we are not praying the Rosary, just mentioning what is supposed to be said.
What is supposed to be said?
Yes.
Was it not supposed to come from Father?
No.
We begin our Rosary prayers first by making the sign of the cross.
Okay.
We make the sign of the cross, then we come to the creed. Kumvera kwa apostoli. Then from kumvera kwa apostoli, we begin with our Father. Atate achu muli kumwamba.
Nkalachonga ninkwata peni.
Tikachoka hapo tutuma beads tutatu amene mutitamba hapo ni chikuoneni Amayi Maria. Pambuyo pake pa chikuoneni Amayi Maria chinena kuti ulemu ukhale kwa Atate. Sono tiyamba manje na chikumi choyamba.
Mr. Banda, so far you are on 30%.
Okay.
So
depending on the mystery,
siku ya mene ilili deka ni mande ni corona ya bwanji ya mene zasatira ndiponso za umoyo wa Yesu Kristo monga mwamene.
So each day has the mysteries that we're supposed to.
So we mentioned the mystery on the 10, and then
tikasiriza pali tuma beads tuametuona monga ni ulungu tu tuli
10
tikanena tatu muli kumwamba tuli 10 utu ni tikuoneni amayi Maria Hail Mary ndiye utu tuli 10. Then tikasiriza ni ulemu ukhale kwa Atate ndiye amene tibwerapo. Sono tikasiriza pabwera pemphero amene tizapemphera Ambuye Yesu
my Jesus
Ambuye Yesu tikanenapo sono tizabwera manje tinene pa corona pa 10 yoyamba kodi cholinga ni chani ndiye mwamene timayambira.
So the intention, you mention the intention and then you go to the Our Father.
Tikachoka pa Our Father kuti pa amene pakonka pali utuma beads tuli 10 ni mabidza ni tikuoneni amayi Maria. Then tizaenda in that particular order
until we reach
tifike hapa pali tikuoneni mfumu tikuoneni
Hail Holy Queen
muchizungu. So pena tikasiriza pa Mysterious 10 timaikapo kanyimbo cha beka ngono ka amayi Maria so ndiye mwamene timapempherera corona yathu.
If you want, you can also do the litany, of Our Lady, as you conclude the prayers of the Rosary. But it's not; it's optional actually. Hail Holy Queen is not optional, but the litany is optional. You can include it or omit it.
Okay, so allow me to say thank you to you, Father. Thank you to you, Ria Banda. And thank you to all our viewers who have been following us on Lumen TV and those that have been following us on social media on Facebook. We have Jeff Chanda, we have Evelyn Kafunga, we have Mary Mwila, Clement Valentine, Abambo Zikoma Kwambiri, and Shimpundu Bulasho Mwisa at Upcoming Priest. Thank you very much for following us, and many others that are following us and they've not sent in a text. Until next Monday when we come back with another interesting topic, and bye for now.